Welcome to the overnight. This is the daylight edition. I didn't get to do one last night because I didn't work. And usually I do these overnight. I just dropped off my daughter at school. So, and the Yankees won another series. That's 2 series in a row against good teams. We might have something. Now, if we beat Detroit and then Boston, then we might take them seriously. We'll see about that. But the moral of this whole thing, this whole video, is about the fucking Giants. Same New Year. Slightly different players. Same fucking result. For the 3rd year in a row, this team couldn't fucking score a touchdown. Let me ask everyone something. Is it Daniel Jones' fault this year? He had 3 total touchdowns yesterday. Was it his fault? It wasn't his fault. Let me tell you how fucking bad they looked against a very sloppy Washington team. And I mean sloppy. Washington had 10 or 12 penalties? But that didn't matter. You're playing the Giants. The Giants had them in second in double digits, 10 or more yards, 10 times yesterday. And the shortest amount of yards that the Giants allowed was 8 yards. And that was the shortest. One was by penalty, was negated by penalty, and the other one was a kneel down. Washington averaged double digits, a double-digit play that down. And hearing Russell Wilson yesterday, oh, it was still 14-6, it was still a game. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. If it wasn't for Jaden Daniels overthrowing Terry McLaurin on an easy touchdown, and I mean easy, and what Daniels did at the end of the half, where he took a dumb grounding penalty that took points that they would have gotten at least 3, you'd be down 24 or 28-3 at the half. Brian Daboll did not have this team prepared for the 3rd year in a row. I've always said it, and I've always said it. It goes on player development. And I've said it a couple of videos ago that preseason means absolute jack. When they scored all these fucking points. And it was a fucking mirage. Because all that shit happened in the second half against 3rd and 4th stringers. And now you have Mike Kafka calling the plays, and he should have been fired 2 years ago. Or actually, he should have been fired last year. Because he wasn't calling plays last year, or was he? The Giants had 11 plays inside the 10 and didn't score. The final time they were in the red zone, you went in all those plays, you went to Malik Neighbors once. You couldn't run the fucking ball. The offensive line was complete garbage. You know, I'm surprised they didn't make any adjustments and move an Illuminor to the fucking left side. and either putting Hudson to the right or Bo. What can you have? And Van Roden, I watched this morning on Twitter. He looked so fucking awful. And I mean awful. I mean, you know what? It doesn't hurt to put fucking Evan Neal in now. It just doesn't. And then the thing that happened after the first quarter with Neighbors and Dable, and they're downplaying it. And you know, I said it. Everyone, and I watched it. Everyone on fucking social media, and they were so hyped about this fucking team. And I'm like, you watch after the first quarter, their tune completely changed. And what did I see yesterday? I saw everyone's tune completely change. Everyone's. Mine wasn't, because I wasn't surprised. This falls on John Mara. You know, should have fired Brian Dable during the offseason. But you know what? You gave him one more chance. And don't you even dare consider putting in Jackson Dart. Because what's he gonna do with that offensive line? It's just not fucking gonna work. It's just not. What else? Oh yeah, you doubled Darius Slayton's salary. He's making $12 million this year. How many targets did he have yesterday? He had fucking one. He had one. You know, they're all, you know, Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors were working with Jalen Hyatt during training camp. You know, and he didn't see the fucking field. Now I'm gonna get to the defense. Shane Bowen better figure it out. I don't know how, coming from Tennessee, his defense was a top 10 run defense. You got fucking Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and now Abdul Carter. And you give up 220 yards on the fucking ground. And they're currently second to last. Because Buffalo couldn't fucking contain Derrick Henry yesterday. You know, there were times there were fucking holes, especially in the middle of the field, for Jaden Daniels to throw right over the fucking middle of the field and not a fucking giant in sight. And this is where we got Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin, and yet they let Washington, who were playing fucking sloppy football, just mow up and down the fucking field. That's fucking, you know, we'll see what happens against Dallas, but I just think Dallas is going to fucking run rush. Javonte Williams is going to have a field day. And Micah McFadden probably escaped serious injury because they said x-rays were negative. But it's the same thing each and every year. And all we do is blame the fucking players. How about we start blaming the fucking coaches? Brian Dable is the start. And I've said it. He is not a good coach. He only got this fucking job because of the job he did with Josh Allen. But when you really think about it, what other than Josh Allen? And take away his stints in Alabama when he had Tua and Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones, you tell me. What quarterback has been successful in the NFL? Besides Josh Allen. Because if you look at his coaching history, he's done nothing.
What the hell?
I don't blame this on Joe Schoen, because Joe Schoen puts the team together. It is up to Brian Dable and his coaches to develop these players. And player development is extremely fucking poor. Extremely. If you look at Philadelphia, they develop really good players. That falls on good coaching. You look at Buffalo. It falls on good coaching. Kansas City, same thing. Baltimore, these good teams, good fucking coaching. The Giants don't have good fucking coaching. We figure Carmine Brasillo, who had a top 12 offensive line with Las Vegas. And they can't do anything. It's just a fucking amazing. But yet we all have to fucking bank on fucking Andrew Thomas getting fucking healthy, which, and that's another thing. Andrew Thomas suffered this fucking injury week 6 last year. And they said he was going to be ready for training camp. And they put him on PUP. And right there, that just shows me that either A, his Liz Frank injury was pretty severe, that it's going to take him nearly a year to get to recover, or they're fucking going to the New York Yankees school of fucking diagnosing injuries and just fucking saying, oh, he'll be fine, and next thing you know, he's still not playing. So now, you know what they're going to do? They're going to fucking put him in against Dallas because do you really... I like to say there's no excuse that this team can't score more than 25, but now I can't even be so sure about that. I don't even know if this team can score more than 17. If this team doesn't make any sort of improvements from week 1 to week 2. And Dallas has more time to recover and get ready for the Giants. But the Giants, I don't see this, and I've said it during the offseason that Brian Daboll will not last past week 8. And what we saw yesterday in week 1, where you should be hyped and you should be fucking stoked and you should be coming out of the gate firing, you come out with that dud for the 3rd year in a row. That goes on coaching preparation, and they don't have it. This doesn't fall on Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen got the play, did what he needed to do. It's up to Brian Daboll now, and Brian Daboll will be fired by week 8, by the end of week 8, because you know what's going to happen. Because if this defense doesn't somewhat improve, the only players that came to play on the defense yesterday were, let's see, Brian Burns. We had 2 sacks. Kayvon had a sack. Abdul Carter, in only the 30, he played half the snaps. But shit needs to change. It really does. I'm really fucking just... I'm not surprised by it, but you know what? It gets old. It gets fucking stale. And it doesn't matter the coaches, and it doesn't matter, you know what? John Mara right now is making the mistake. He made the mistake on retaining Daboll, and right there, that's on him to start. So we'll see what happens against Dallas, because we'll see how different this team is gonna look. I don't put any fucking optimism on it, but but I'm sorry, but the fans that were fucking giddy about week 1, which was a pretty winnable game, and it was, and they could have, if they actually could have just got their heads out of their ass and beat a sloppy Washington team, and yes, they were sloppy until, the second half, where, but it's going to be the same thing. And it's going to be the same fucking question. When are the Giants going to win a game? And right now, If they don't beat Dallas, the home opener on Sunday night against Kansas City is going to be a fucking disaster. Then you got the Chargers and how Rich Eisen was so fucking shocked that every time he went back, Justin Herbert went back to throw, and now they looked really good, and especially Herbert, that looked good in the pass. And they still got a good, I think Marion Hampton's going to have a field day. And then they'll probably beat New Orleans, but it probably won't be easy because the way they look. And then they're just going to get destroyed by Philly and Denver week 6, 7, and 8. And then they're 1-7. And then everyone's going to be calling for Dable's head. And he's going to be gone by then. And then we'll see what happens. And I said it yesterday too, that the Giants missed a big opportunity when Robert Saleh got fired last year with the Jets. He should have never have left New Jersey. The Giants should have gave him some type of assistant to help the defense, and if they would have fired Bowen, and then Saleh would have been running the defense. Saleh's defense only gave up 13 to the Seahawks. They only gave up 1 touchdown. So, and I think that defense in San Francisco is going to get better with Saleh. But you know what? That's another big. I think if Saleh would have had this defense, I don't think fucking Washington does anything. But we'll see come Dallas. We'll see when Dallas. I like to say it's a key game. It probably is, but it really isn't because we can't beat Dallas, and it doesn't matter who it is because, Dallas almost beat Philly. But I think that if this shit doesn't get fixed, it's going to be another loss. So, we'll see what happens. But same old. Different players, same coach, same results, but yet we got to put blame on the fucking on the quarterback. When Russell Wilson got blitzed 50%. But it doesn't matter to the quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Russell Wilson. It doesn't matter if it's Drew Lock. It doesn't matter if it's Daniel Jones or Tommy DeVito or Tim Boyle. It doesn't fucking matter. It's the same thing. And now, Brian Daboll is so in love with fucking Jackson Dart that he's going to promote him to to backup, which is a mistake. And then yesterday before the game, and I read this, that, they're going to have a handful of plays. I'm like, don't you fucking dare. And good thing he didn't. Because he would have had absolute no time. And he would have gotten shell-shocked. So, that's it for today, for the daylight edition of the overnight. Tonight's Chicago, Minnesota. That was such a fucking awesome Sunday night game last night. I tell you, in one of my fantasy matchups, when Derrick Henry scored that second touchdown, I had a 4% chance to win my matchup. And the moment Derrick Henry fumbled, I now have an 86% chance to win. And all I need is Hawkinson to get me 7. And basically, 4 catches for 30-some-odd yards should do it. With J.J. McCarthy, when you have Justin Jefferson and that's it. So I think Hawkinson will get more play. And in my other league, I just need 5 yards from Aaron Jones, and that should win my fantasy matchup. Especially when I took the Giants defense in both my leagues, which I'm considering just dropping them for a better defense. Because I figured that defense was going to do something, but guess what? They can't stop the run. You know, with all those flashy players and how everyone said that they were the number one ranked defensive line. Yeah, right. You know, they should just fucking stop that. But we'll see what happens. Everyone, you have a good fucking day. I am.